Fantasy Friends. Previously on Fan.
That's exactly what happened last time. Welcome back, everybody.
Yep, that's
to Week
right.
8 Fantasy Friends.
Happy Halloween. All right, yeah, but that's right. This is our Halloween episode, Week 8, right?
Week 8?
Yep, and we are going to be talking about the scariest player on each team during this week's power rankings. And we're also going to give them a little monster comparison for each of these players.
Of course, you see we got the werewolf and we got Zoolander. Look at that blue steel, everybody. All right, let's get right into it.
All right, and let's start with our tie for number 12 with Sam Fontaine and Jack Krause.
All right. Let's talk about Sam Fontaine first. So we decided to give his. This is the only one where we had a couple of players because there's the monster's the Hydra. Now, do you want to explain that?
All right. So the Hydra, it's a multi-headed beast, and when you cut off a head, another will take its place. And obviously, for Sam's team, his running back core is a Hydra. He's got backups. He's got layers of depth in there, and all of them can hit heavy when their head is chomping at you.
For example, Mixon chopped in half this week. Gio Bernard steps in, and he's got to eat your soul.
That's my Hydra impression.
Exactly. All right, let's get into Jack's team.
Yep, Jack's team, and I think that a pretty clear one. We could have went with really either his wide receivers, but the scariest guy on his team, we're going to go with DeAndre Hopkins. That's right.
This guy is magical on the field, the way that he catches everything.
All the way he disappears and just comes in, boom, touchdown. You don't think he'll catch it?
The Warlock, because he just...
Dark magic in play when he is catching those balls.
Exactly. All right, let's go to number 10. We have Samuel Nathan. And his scariest player, definitely Lamar Jackson.
I mean, Lamar, listen, he hasn't been too great statistically over this year, but he can go off any game, and that is scary. And the reason he can go off any game is because he can run. He can pass. He could probably catch a ball if he really wanted to. He can do everything. And that's why his monster is. Why don't you kind of explain what the monster is?
All right, we're going for the Chimera. It's like a lion, beast. What other part is it?
Head of a lion, head of a goat, head of a snake, each spitting fire, poison, and some other shit I don't even know.
Lamar comes at you through the air. Lamar comes at you on the ground. He'll break your ankles with the spin move all over the place.
All those things.
He'll run through you if he needs to.
Kill you in so many ways, and that is why he is the Chimera of fantasy football.
By the way, not a sponsor, everybody, but Heineken, if you're out there, we wouldn't mind the sponsor. All right?
Yeah, that's right. We're talking to you. We know some execs are watching right now.
Yep. All right.
Okay, let's get on to a tie we have at 8th place between Tedward and Abatha. Okay, yep, that's right. We have the 1972 Miami Dolphins, and of course,
the Obi-Wan Mahomey. That's a pretty good name. That's kind of Halloween-esque. You could be Obi-Wan for Halloween, but we're staying with the scary stuff. We're starting with Ted, and we're going with the obvious choice, Derrick Henry. He's a beast. We're giving him... Now, this is interesting. This is our only... Not really a monster.
I mean, it can be,
He is a monster because he can't control his emotions until, the recent Avengers films. We're talking about the Hulk.
The Hulk, because you know what? When you try to stop this guy, you can't. You can't. Hulk will smash. Hulk will smash the defenders. Hulk will smash into the end zone, and that is what Derrick Henry does. Other good option also, a king, King's a pretty good choice for Henry, but we're going scary.
Kind of like an Egyptian pharaoh kind of deal.
Oh, that's a good option.
But, yeah, whatever. Anyway, let's get on to Abby's team with Devontae Adams. This guy has been... Now, when he's injured, obviously he's not really good in your lineup, but when he's out there, he steals souls.
When you're out there, when you're going up against Abby and you say Devontae in her lineup dropping 30 points, which he has done more times than he has basically when he's been playing, you just lose your will to compete. He's a soul sealer, and that is why the monster we are talking about is the Dementor.
Yes.
Be careful. Don't let this guy kiss you, because you're done.
Yeah. You'll end up cold and on the ground, lifeless. All right, let's get to our number 7, right?
Number 7. And for this team, we have Cassie with Juju knows up. But it's Halloween, so we're going strictly bad Juju this week.
Yeah.
And Juju will not be their scariest player, which will be...
We're going Russell Wilson. So, normally this season we've been giving it the mantra, let Russell cook. So we got to keep that going, but he's brewing tonight.
Yeah, he's getting that witch's brew going, that deadly shit that's going to fuck you up. A little bit of running, a little bit of actually a lot of touchdowns, a lot of yards, all that stuff in a deadly concoction that's going to scare the shit out of whoever's playing Cassie.
Yes, exactly. All right, let's get into number 6.
Number 6.
We got Jake Younger, and we're going to go with, I think this is honestly obvious also, but Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, he is probably, honestly, one of the maybe even the scariest running back, just because whenever you're up against him, you're like, I hope this isn't the Aaron Jones week where he goes off, where he dominates. It happens about once a month.
Yep.
Once in a full moon, and that's why we're going with, what are we going with?
We're going with the werewolf. Every once in a full moon, he will go off for 40 points, and you automatically lose pretty much. Kind of like when you have Tyler Lockett going off against it. We're not going to talk about that right now. But Aaron Jones is the werewolf. When he gets 3 touchdowns in a game, 2 of them receiving, it's 1 rushing and 150 multi-purpose yards.
It can happen, and you do not want it to happen.
That's terrifying. Let's just put it that way.
And even when he's not the full moon, he still somehow finds a way to beast and feast.
Yes.
All right. Now, for number 5 in our rankings, we have our habitual number 5, Lindsay Wright.
Yes.
And for her scary player, who do we got?
We got Tyreek Hill. The guy is basically a cheetah. He has superhuman speed, and he's just...
When you watch him play, you do not think that he is normal. You think there's something wrong with him. He's got to be a freak, and that's what we're giving Tyreek. I'm not sure if a freak is technically a monster, we're calling it that. Because also Tyreek rhymes with freak. So you know what? Sometimes rhyming steals real monsters. Yep, that's right. The freak, you do not want to play him. He will go deep on you. He will put up yards. He will put up touchdowns. He's got a scary quarterback too.
Yeah, he does.
Let's get on to our number 4, which is
myself,
your boy,
and I'm at number 4 this week. Had a little drop off for last week, only a little bit.
Still pretty dangerous. Still
dangerous.
Pretty scary. And one of those scary parts of your team is, of course,
Will Fuller. And so this is interesting. Will Fuller is the only player ahead of Tyler Lockett.
In the past, I want to say 2, maybe even 3 years, Tyler Lockett. Jake can tell you about it. He put up a ton of points last week.
Yeah.
The one player who outscored Tyler Lockett in
one
past
single
years,
game.
Will Fuller. You know why? Because he is deadly when he is healthy. But he does lose some limbs sometimes. He gets out for a bit, but then he comes back and still keeps on running.
He's missing an arm.
He keeps crawling towards those fantasy points, and that's scary. And that's why, what monster are we going with?
We're going with the zombie. Doesn't matter how hurt he gets, he comes back even... He doesn't even come back stronger. He's just the same old beast as before.
He was already strong before.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
He's still pretty scary, and that is why he is a scary player on Jake's team.
Yes.
And at number 3, we got your other boy, my team. I forget its name. My Chubb hurts for 2 weeks. We're gonna
I think it's 3 weeks
no,
now?
it's 2. I messed up the counter.
Oh, okay.
All right, and for Chubb would be a pretty good scary guy, but he's been out for a bit. So instead, we are going with DK Metcalf.
This
we
is
all
pretty
saw
obvious.
Buda Baker. You could see how scared he was a couple days ago.
Oh, you know what he called him after? He said Buda Baker on the side was like, DK Metcalf just hawked me.
Oh yeah, he did.
We could have called him a hawk, but
that's not really a monster.
Yeah,
but
that's
he could.
true.
Birdman would be a decent one.
All right, so
but what are we going with for the actual monster for DK?
We're going with the Predator. That's right, Alien vs. Predator. This guy hunts you down for game, and he's just
deadly
a
shot.
Physical beast as well.
You don't want to get hit by those 60-yard tuds. You don't want to get hit. When he gets one of those shots off, it's going to be good. When he catches a ball, you know it's going to be high
faster
value.
than you. He's stronger than you, and frankly,
he's just a physically superior specimen.
Exactly.
And that is what the Predator is. Okay. And now, even though I did not have an injured player as my scary player, let's go to our number 2, which is Benjamin Salfer.
Yes.
And his scary player happens to be someone who has been injured for a while recently, coming back soon, and that is Christian McCaffrey. We all know how scary this dude is from last year. Oh my God, put up so many points. And you know what? He's coming back from the dead now.
He's sleeping right now in his casket. He's waiting for you to open the door and let him back into the lineup, and he will come back out fully awake and alive, revived and ready to take your life.
The king has returned,
Yes.
wrapped in bandages and ready to kill all in his way. And that is why Christian McCaffrey is the mummy.
Yes.
And you will be scared when you face him after he has risen. All right.
Number 1 for I don't know how many consecutive weeks, but another week in a row.
3, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Still pretty good.
Michael. Michael's team, multiple scoregasms.
Oh, yeah. Great squad.
Yes.
And the jewel.
This squad is very deep.
But the jewel of the squad, possibly the best player in fantasy football right now. I'd say almost definitely the best player in fantasy
Right
football
now, definitely. Yeah.
is Alvin Kamara. He is just insane. You can't tackle him. When he wants to get to the end zone, he'll run through you. He'll run around you. He's so fast. He's so strong. He catches balls. He is a monster. And what monster is he?
You have to also remember, he's got that little septum ring, which is kind of like
a little bit of a bull. That's
kind of like the Minotaur. This guy is
part bull, part man.
Yeah. You know what? In Chicago this week, I'm pretty sure he's gonna go off because
tear some people in half.
He's gonna feast. The Minotaur. I'm pretty sure is probably what's the word for meat eater? Carnivore.
Yeah, carnivore.
Yeah.
He's taken down. He's eating some flesh.
He's eating some flesh. All right, we have our. That's it for
our power rankings.
Yep.
We got Michael number 1, Ben 2, me, Jake, Lindsay, Jake Younger, Cassie, Abby, Ted, Sam Nathan, Sam Fontaine, and Jack. And now for our Eggland excellent guest as we move into matchup predictions. We have, you know him, you love him. He's done some graph stuff.
You know him for the graphs that he gives
daily
us.
articles.
You know him. You know it for the weekly articles. You know it for the statistics that he provides. Give it up for Jack Krause.
Big name in the Lake Michigan fantasy industry.
All right, let's
get this back. Get the camera going. Let's get a look to it. And we got. Actually, today we do not have Jack Krause. We in fact have Will Smith in as our guest. That is right. We got the man in black. Yep, we're gonna get all close together, all nice. All right, all right, that's good.
All right. We got the squad.
Now we got our matchup.
No, you can't turn it that way.
Okay, there we go.
That's the whole point.
We got our matchup predictions for the week, and as always, we start with our guest for each matchup.
Yes.
And let's start with our first matchup, and that is Lawrence, me, Stranger versus Samuel Fontaine. All right, and Jack, who do you have as winning this matchup?
You versus Fontaine. Right?
Yep.
Well, I mean, I would love to go with Fontaine, but that would just be silly because I prefer to get picks right. So it's got to be Larry.
That's right. And you know what? We have some agreement here.
Yeah.
I went with me.
I also went with Larry. I think that this is kind of an easy one.
Well, it's just Teddy Bridgewater didn't do too well.
Yeah, we don't know how Teddy.
All right.
When
if
Gio
the Bucks go off, though, I will be very scared.
That's a good point. And it's a Monday night game. Don't have to worry about weather.
But all
We're
right.
basically playing the Bucks. So.
Yeah, I am playing the Bucks.
That's a good point.
All right, and now we have Ben versus Abby as our next matchup.
Tyler Squared versus Obi-Wan Mahomey.
Okay.
You know, I'm kind of feeling Abby on this one. She's been riding a little bit of a wave stat-wise. She was 0-5. Now she's 2-5.
2-game win streak.
Yeah. So this
Emily
is
Tedward.
also her good week, by the way.
Ooh.
So she has gone 1 week off and 1 week on this entire season. So she's coming up on a good on week. So
that's our statistician right there, guys.
Gotta ride with the stats.
These are these premium content that we're looking for when we get these types of excellent
You
guests
would know that. Though,
Take
if you
notes,
read the
Doug.
stories.
Take notes, okay? Last week you kind of did shit. Want you to step up your game.
Take notes, Doug.
Okay. We both also went with Abby. I just think that Ben's team's really hurt, so yeah, his running backs are bad.
I don't like the Wayne Gallman. Okay, I love the Wayne Gallman start from the fantasy perspective, it's a little questionable. I also think that Henry Ruggs is likely not to catch a
I
pass.
thought you were about to speak ill of our Lord and
I didn't
Savior,
realize
Quinn
you started
Coleman.
Wayne.
No.
That's great.
Actually, that maybe I do switch to Ben now. I don't because I'm competing with you. Okay, now on to our next matchup. We have Bill the Waller versus the 1972 Miami Dolphins. Ted on a 3-game winning streak.
He's
Can he
back in playoff
continue?
contention
Oh
already.
yeah, and Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, he's making the playoffs. I'm probably picking him 100% right here. You just cannot go against his absolute heat of Derrick Henry and Ronald Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I love that pick.
As much as I hate Ronald Jones for taking all of Leonard's work.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Leonard's about to take it right back.
It doesn't matter now because I don't have him.
Oh, well, never mind then. She still
Never
probably might.
We both also took Ted.
Yes.
But this I do think is a pretty close one relative to most of the other matchups this week. I think that the big deciding factor for me obviously was Mike Davis versus Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry's playing a really easy matchup and he's on a hot streak and he's just going to dominate.
And
much like
Mike
Jackson.
Davis, obviously, already having played, we saw that he didn't do well. He had 8 points. That's like not a bust, but it's not anything you want when your opponent has Derrick Henry.
Mhm.
All right, let's move on to the next one,
On
guys.
to the next one. And this one, all right, we have multiple scoregasms versus Juju knows what's up. Okay, I think we all picked Michael. Can we just move on to the next one? It's pretty simple.
Well, hold on. Let me just look through this real quick because I really gotta analyze it. And yeah.
Okay.
All right. Analyzed, done.
Michael's team is
sealed.
very good. All right, I think that's all the analysis we need for this game.
He beat me
Good
by
luck, Cassie.
72.
Okay, on to the next matchup where we have our excellent special guest
Yeah,
going
easily
up
the
against
best
Lindsay.
matchup.
Right,
I mean, this is the only matchup that really anybody cares about.
that's
It's
true.
got the lowest average league rank between the players, so that
Wow.
obviously means it's the best one.
Hmm.
That means it's going to be highly competitive.
Very
Exactly,
competitive.
yeah. And you already know that your boy is bringing in a third win.
All right.
Okay, I
So
respect
we
it.
got Jack picking himself, saying, "I'm gonna put the team on my back."
I take my line every week.
I like it.
All right.
I like it. That is the confidence that we like here.
At the same
on
time-
an excellent matchup.
We are both picking.
Yeah, I'm picking
Yeah,
Lindsay
okay.
as well.
Listen. Honestly, I think Dobbins will be good for the rest of the year. But Pittsburgh is a really good run D,
JT
and
is
he
gonna
still
put up
has to
40.
establish himself. I hope so. But we'll see. I just don't have the confidence quite yet to give him the respect to give you the
Could
win.
this be the breakout week? We're just going to have to see.
I think it's possible. You never know.
All right, hit us with some blue steel.
I've been doing it all.
Yeah, I know. All right, which matchup is next?
The blue steel. I think that's all of them.
No, we still
So we still have
my matchup.
IT Tech, the
Oh.
Jake Ball. Much like the Sam Ball, this is one
The
of the
All-American Jake Ball.
the
Shit.
most anticipated matchups of the year. And Jake, what do you got to say about it?
Actually, we're going to give it to Jack 1st,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll talk before you.
Okay,
This
gotcha.
one is quite interesting, actually, because your team should be good, but they haven't been performing very well.
I actually scored 132 points last week, so
Yeah, but you lost, so it doesn't matter.
I lost because Tyler Lockett.
Dude, it's
Scored.
because Aaron Rodgers beat you. Aaron Rodgers,
Rodgers
is
did
the
beat
elite
me.
quarterback.
Jake is. I'm predicting you, but I
Must have
just-
been hearing the
I gotta
shit you
go
said
with
about
you
him on your podcast.
on this one because I don't trust Jake's players.
Mhm.
In all honesty, I don't care how high the prediction is.
So, I agree with you. I'm also going with myself.
Ooh,
Your confidence gave me some inspiration.
Have you ever not picked yourself though?
Yeah, no.
I don't think.
I don't think so. I was actually about to not pick myself, but then I remembered that I don't like DeAndre Swift, and I also remembered that Zeke is going to eat the Eagles apart. Cook them up, get some fried chicken
I'm just glad I
going.
get another win against you now.
The Eagles are made of good.
I'd have to change to catch
No,
up.
it's fair enough.
So, hey, I'm going. I'm the underdog, and you know what? The underdog, big David versus Goliath vibes right here.
Yeah, I'm going with the slam dunk of Jake Younger right here.
Ooh.
I love
Slam dunk, he says.
yeah, yeah. Okay, and because Zeke is gonna get shut down, clamped by the Philly strong defense with a third string quarterback, and also Brandon Ayuk with Debo out will get a ton of opportunities against one of the worst defenses in football, Seattle. Just
That's
keep your
true.
eye out on that. I think that,
That
you
is true.
put up some big plays and get some touchdowns, and I think that might just be enough to
Also,
give
my
Jake the win.
Also,
I
my
do-
best player had a off game, but ride or die, baby.
Okay, I do respect that, but I'm also pretty glad they did that. All right,
I gotta switch up if I'm coming.
All right, thank you to our Eggland. Excellent guest.
Yeah, no problem.
Have
a
the
great
man in
week.
black, Jack himself. Okay, we're probably gonna have him
Thank
on
you,
the
sir.
show again later, also to talk
Yeah.
about some of his charts and stuff as the year goes on.
In a longer
Yeah.
episode when we go more
you
in
know,
depth.
going back into those hour episodes that we started with the classic ones at the beginning.
Yes, of course.
This one we're keeping a little shorter, and to keep it short, we're gonna move on to our next segment.
Yep.
Which is
We're going into the DraftKings lines of the week.
Lines of the Week. Spooky Halloween edition.
Spooky Halloween edition.
And you know what? These lines are spooky because they're scary good.
Also,
Honestly,
we're tied right now.
so these are scarily relevant to which one of us is better at picking the winning line.
Exactly.
Okay. So again, we always have our underdog, overdog, and lock. All right, let's start out with you, Jake. And what is your underdog?
My underdog is the Pittsburgh Steelers +4 against the Baltimore Ravens. I like the Ravens. I think that they're gonna have a good showing. But Pittsburgh Steelers are undefeated. They have a great run defense, which is what the Ravens excel at. And I think that the Steelers are not only gonna come in and cover, but I think they're gonna win. But obviously, we just have to worry about the line. So
I
they're gonna cover.
can definitely see the Ravens winning by a field goal. So you still get that there. For my
Let's talk about your underdog.
my underdog, I am going with a pretty bad team, honestly, overall on this year so far, the New England Patriots. But I think this week being plus 4.5 against kind of an overrated Bills team, I think has been underperforming. I think they can capitalize on kind of turning it around after a bad loss this week, especially with some windy weather. They're a very strong run team, and I think that they can capitalize on their skill in this week more than most other weeks, enough where at least they don't lose by 4.5. And that is why I'm going with the New England Patriots. 6-time Super Bowl champs, well, 5 times?
6 times.
6-time Super Bowl champs.
Count them on 2 hands.
Dynasty, Bill
hands.
Belichick. I think that they can cover this spread.
I love it. You kind of hit at me first, but then you brought me back up. So I appreciate it. All right, let's go into the overdog. Do you want to lead the segment with this one?
Oh, yeah, I can lead it. And I am going with the Seattle Seahawks at -3. Honestly, by Sunday, it might be -2.5, so keep your eye out on that. I think that they're playing against San Francisco. Seattle kind of had a stumble of a game. San Francisco went off, but I think that you don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. Over the course of the season, Seattle's clearly been at least slightly better team, enough where they can win by 3 points at home, and right now they're being given a -3. I think that they'll win by at least that much, which is why I'm pretty confident in picking them as my overdog this week.
I love it. Great pick. I picked Seattle last week and it burned me, but you know what? Like you said, don't live in the past. All right. My overdog of the week are the Tennessee Titans, -6.5 over the Cincinnati Bengals, where it's going to be some inclement weather. And I think that the Bengals, without Joe Mixon, are not going to do as well against the Titans, who are so good with Derrick Henry. Going to run it down their throats. They're going to win by a touchdown. Tennessee Titans.
I do not mind that pick at all. I think the Titans are definitely going to put up a lot of points this week.
Yep.
And for my lock of the week, the locks, the big money plays.
Big money.
These are the ones that we are confident on the most, and I am confident on the Saints beating the trash Bears this week by -4. The Bears cost me some money last week. I'm pretty salty at them. So you know what? This week, I think that the Saints are going to keep what the Rams did going and put up at least enough to win by 4 points against them. It's going to be a windy day. The Bears' defense is good against the pass, not quite as good against the run. And obviously, the Saints have one of the best running backs in the league, especially those types of dump-offs and the short runs. Drew Brees doesn't throw it deep, so the wind doesn't affect him very much. And I just think that, the Saints are going to probably win this matchup by at least 4.
I like it. Now, you brought up a team last week that did well against the Bears, and I'm going to go back to them. The LA Rams. They blew out the Chicago Bears last week. I'm picking them -3.5 over the Miami Dolphins. It's Tua Tagovailoa's first start. Notice that great name pronunciation, by the way. But the LA Rams over a first ever start against the Miami Dolphins, who are decent this year, but
They also haven't faced up against too bad. You know, they're in like the weakest division in football, the AFC East. You know, so
Okay.
I like that.
Okay, I'll let you hate on the Patriots, but don't forget that the NFC East, the division leader, has 2 wins.
They are a division leader and they deserve respect.
2
They
wins.
deserve respect.
All right. Anyway, LA Rams minus 3.5. They blew out the Bears last week.
No,
They're
I
gonna
love
keep
that pick.
running it with Henderson and Brown, and they're gonna keep throwing it to Robert Woods. And you know what? Josh Reynolds had a good game last week.
I could totally see him getting it done.
Yeah.
And
I just their
too
pass
many
rush
weapons.
is too good into his
against
first
the
start.
rookie quarterback. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So Rams minus 3.5. That is
Hammer
a
that lock.
and that
Hammer
is
it.
our show.
Hammer it.
Happy Halloween.
Thank
One
you.
last pose. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Have a fun day.
See you
Do
next
not
week.
drink too much, or do.